2 steps to your right!
On yesterday's assassination attempt against Donald Trump, how close the suspect got to the former president.
I know the police are doing their part. I know they're frustrated. I know the public's frustrated. But we have to work together and kind of come up with the right response.
And new details on the recent spike in car thefts in the area. We'll have student and police reaction.
Plus, one student has found a way to make money and form connections with an American food staple. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Welcome to News Live at 6, everyone. I'm Max Williams.
And I'm Jake Morel.
New details on campus. We spoke with multiple SU students who say their car has been stolen and broken into. According to Syracuse police, Syracuse has the highest rate of cars stolen than any other part of the city since January, with a total of 348 stolen cars. CitrusTV spoke with Sergeant Thomas Blake on the issue.
It takes everybody. I know the police are doing their part. I know they're frustrated. I know the public's frustrated. But we have to work together and kind of come up with the right response.
SU junior Erin Mullen, who had her car stolen this weekend, told Citrus TV, quote, "I found out through my roommate that 6 other cars had been stolen that night, all being Kias and Hyundais. The other cars they found were not drivable, so I assume that mine won't be either."
And it's official, Latin Heritage Month. The university plans to celebrate with opportunities for the community to learn about history and culture from over 20 Latin, Central, and South American countries.
The Latin Heritage Month committee chose the theme Frontera sin Límites, embracing our borderless cultures, based on the resilience of Latin cultures with various identities and spaces. And the lineup of events kicked off today and will be running through the next month, including the annual Torneo de Football soccer tournament. I might be playing in that, Max. Sips to the Tropics mocktail mixer, arts and cultural exhibitions in downtown Syracuse, and live DJ sets, discussion, and more. Sounds like a lot.
I know. Sounds fun. All right, the Syracuse University celebrated the start of Abroad Week today. SU will be hosting abroad events throughout this week, ranging from general information sessions, financial aid opportunities, and advice on how to go abroad based on student-specific colleges. Syracuse will also be holding Abroad on the Quad this Wednesday from 11 to 3, where students can meet with abroad program advisors, campus partners, and alumni.
And today is the last day that you could drop a class. After tonight at midnight, you will not be able to drop a class on MySlice. Dropped classes will not show up on your transcript, but if you do it after today, they're going to show up as a withdrawal on all student transcripts, so get to it.
Well, this is a fun story. Some students get a job, join a club, or find a new hobby to keep themselves busy in college. Or in the case of one SU freshman, open a hot dog stand. Citrus TV reporter Jackson Breslin learned more about the stand and how it has built a community for those still settling into college life.
By day, Michael Young is your typical SU freshman. He plays golf, studies mechanical engineering, and is still waiting to hear back from the Frisbee team. But by night, he is the brains behind Mike's Dogs, a hot dog stand run out of his dorm room.
So Mike's Dogs started because I wanted hot dogs for myself, and then I was like, if I want hot dogs, other people probably do too.
People who come to Young's room, whether it's after a football game or a night out, usually come in search of one thing, a classic hot dog. And about 2 minutes and $3 later, well, they've got one.
I think it's honestly pretty smart. He's making bank off of us, and he's selling things that we'll actually eat. It's different from the dining hall foods.
Young says he's made over $300 since he started 2 weeks ago. His customers give glowing reviews.
Mike's hot dogs are really good. You wouldn't think that they are, but they're actually delicious. Okay. 11 out of 10.
Mike's Dogs provides more than just food, though. It's become a meeting place and a bit of an inside joke among the freshman class.
It's definitely really wholesome. It's pretty much what the college experience is all about.
While there are no plans on expanding the business, Young says he's not ready to retire yet.
I mean, as long as people want hot dogs. I mean, definitely, I think through my freshman year, if it's still successful, and we'll see come next year what happens.
For now, Young is making freshman year better, one hot dog at a time. Reporting in Syracuse, Jackson Breslin, Citrus TV News.
Well, that's just such a fun story there. It's such a good idea. Like, I mean, I wish I had that.
I love it. If I was a freshman, I would. It makes me want a hot dog right now. I don't think anybody wants to see us eat hot dogs on air, but I might be going for that. Right at 6:30, I'm out of the studio right away. But speaking of out of the studio, our Isabella Galan is on the weather deck, telling us how hot it is outside, and hopefully telling me when I can stop sweating on my way in. Oof, Bella.
Hey guys, yeah, it is a beautiful day, absolutely gorgeous. Feeling about 82 degrees, but it feels like 85, so not blaming you. It definitely is sweating weather, unfortunately, but I mean, we don't know how much longer this sunny weather is going to last, so I'm going to take it as long as we can. Like I said, feeling like 85 degrees and looking around the region at different temperatures, 85 degrees in Rochester, 79 in Cortland. Cortland being the lowest temperature all around the region, but still, that's pretty warm in my opinion. So still looking beautiful, and looking later into tonight, then you can probably stop sweating because it'll be 68 degrees, which is the perfect temperature to open your windows. I know that's definitely what I'm going to be doing when I get home, and a perfect temperature for a nice evening stroll if that's what you're looking for. But other than that, that's all I got right now. I'll be back later with your 5-day forecast.
Isabella, thank you so much. Well, a group of business organizations urged New York State Governor Kathy Hochul to veto the Climate Change Superfund Act. This bill aims to address climate change by creating regulations to find companies responsible for production of fossil fuels. This legislation faces heavy criticism by a business coalition concerned about its economic implications. These organizations argue that the bill will collect roughly $75 billion from companies around, according to Times Union.
Syracuse firefighters were busy yesterday after 2 fires were reported within just hours of each other. The first one happened at a multi-unit apartment building in the Eastwood neighborhood just after 11 a.m. It was determined that the fire started in a bedroom on the 2nd floor due to an overheated electrical cord. There were no injuries reported and 4 people were displaced. And that other fire happened around 2 p.m. at a home on the north side. Once firefighters arrived, the fire had already burned through most of the garage. The residents of the home were able to make it out safely.
Over the weekend, 2 separate stabbing incidents took place in Syracuse. On Friday, 2 girls were stabbed in the Valley neighborhood. Officers found 2 14-year-old girls, one with wounds on the back of her neck and another with a severed thumb.
And the next morning, 3 people were injured near a Syracuse bar at around 1 a.m. 911 dispatchers reported that there was a possible shooting and stabbing near Tommy's Bar and Grill on the north side of Syracuse. 2 others were found with stab wounds from the incident. Police are investigating both events independently.
Roundabouts are now here in Syracuse. It's the first of its kind here that isn't a residential area. Crews have been working all summer for the new intersection at I-481 southbound and I-81 northbound routes. To add another layer of safety, crews are still working to add finishing touches to the roundabout, which will include full pedestrian crossings, flashing beacons, pavement markers, and clear signage. This comes as the city looks to better traffic flow and have safer routes for citizens. In other local news, the hip-hop singer and rapper Post Malone came to town this weekend. This is Malone's first show in Central New York since 2015 and 3rd stop on his F1 Trillion tour around the states. The artist performed country and bluegrass songs to pop and rap hits that got many reactions from the crowd. The Syracuse native roots stretch all the way back to his birthplace right here in upstate New York. The Grammy-nominated singer lives in Texas but owns a home in Baldwinsville with his family.
Spooky season, Max. The Syracuse International Film Festival kicked off the fall season with Horror Fest, inviting local filmmakers and artists to showcase their work. Our Olivia Rodriguez talked to organizers about what makes the festival a staple of the season.
All right, we apologize for the technical difficulties there. Coming up on News Live at 6, our political analyst, Rook Radel, has more information on the second attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump.
And Governor Hochul announces emergency repair grants. We have more on what these grants can do for homeowners in the area. Stay with us.
my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
News Live at 6. That is the moment that police arrested the alleged suspect in yesterday's apparent assassination attempt of Donald Trump at his golf course in Palm Beach.
Yeah, that suspect, Ryan Wesley Ruth, was in federal court today. Citrus TV political reporter Luke Radel is here to break it down for us. Luke, we've been following this all day, but let's start with how close did Ruth get to the former president?
Max, Jake, good evening. The Palm Beach County Sheriff said that Ruth got within 300 and 500 yards of Trump. For reference, this is the Trump International Golf Course. You can see I-95 going down there, the Palm Beach International Airport. And if we zoom in, former President Trump was moving between holes 5 and 6, which are right along this area here by the road, and that Ruth was suspected to be somewhere within the shrubbery along here. Now, talking a little bit about who that suspect actually is, this is the man that was arrested in connection with this case. This morning, federal prosecutors charged him with 2 gun-related crimes in connection to the incident, but it's unclear if Ruth actually got off a shot against Trump. He has an extensive criminal record and has criticized the former president online. He also passionately supported Ukraine's war against Russia, even traveling to Kyiv in 2022. So how did this happen twice, where the president gets targeted by an assassin? Here's what Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw had to say.
Well, you got to understand the golf course is surrounded by shrubbery, so when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight, all right? And at this level that he is at right now, he's not the sitting president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. Well, because he's not, the security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible. So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little more people around the perimeter.
Now, Trump is safe and back at his home in Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago. He actually met this afternoon with the acting director of the Secret Service, Ronald Rowe. Now, Rowe came in and replaced the former director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle. She resigned after that first assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania over the summer. Jake and Max, back over to you.
Luke Radel, thank you. National Voter Registration Day is less than a day away. Governor Kathy Hochul encourages all eligible voters to register. She also reminds New Yorkers that state and national election officials are trusted sources for election information. Eligible New York voters can register online, in person, or by mail until October 26th to vote in the general on November 5th.
Governor Hochul also announced today that applications are open for income-eligible homeowners affected by severe storms and flooding in July and August. Funding up to $50,000 may be used for emergency housing repairs necessary to make homes safe, sanitary, and livable. Grants are available on a first-come, first-served basis and will be accepted until October 7th.
And we have new details on the Israel-Hamas war. Overnight, a missile was launched from Yemen, striking Israel early Monday morning. The Israeli Defense Force says that the missile fragmented in midair with pieces of it falling into an open area in central Israel. There were no injuries reported. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responding to the missile strike, warning that Yemen will face a, quote, heavy price.
And we have new details tonight on that deadly school shooting out of Georgia. On the morning of the shooting, authorities were actively looking for the suspect after the school received a warning call from his mother, Marcy Gray.
After the call, officers went to find Gray but mistook him for another student in the same class with an almost identical name. Officers assumed they had Gray but were speaking to the other student as the shooting began.
And when we come back, I will have your full 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Looking ahead at your 5-day forecast, it is going to be another beautiful week here in Syracuse. Tomorrow being the highest of the week at 83 with only a low of 59, which is still a pretty nice day in my opinion. That's my perfect spot for a nice fall day. And even though we're going to be seeing a lot of clouds throughout the week, the temperatures just overshadow that completely. And look at that game day temperature, am I right? Like 81 degrees for that game on Friday. It's going to be an absolute great day, so make sure to plan your outfits accordingly. I know I definitely will. And for another beautiful day, I need another beautiful playlist. Whenever it's sunny, I need some songs to hype me up. So here are some songs that I would recommend in case you want to go on a hot girl walk today, because I'm always down for a hot girl walk. We got Symphony by Zara Larsson. That's my song right now. I will play it on repeat. We also got New Romantics, Taylor Swift. I mean, can never forget about Taylor Swift. Just look at all these pop girlies right now. They are killing it. Juno by Sabrina Carpenter on her new album, new song, It's Okay, I'm Okay by Tate McRae. These are definitely the songs to look out to. So for the rest of the week, since it is going to be beautiful and sunny and nice warm temperatures, these are definitely some songs that I am going to look forward to. Now, in this entertainment realm, we're going to be talking about the Emmys. So Alana, I'm going to lead it on over to you.
Isabella, so great to be here, and I know I'm going to be going on a hot girl walk later, and I'll be listening to those songs, so thank you so much. But last night, a lot of people say it was just an ordinary Sunday, but to many others, it was television's biggest night. You may be wondering why it feels like the Emmys just happened, and well, that's because they did. Last year, the Emmys were supposed to be in September, but they were rescheduled to be in January due to the Hollywood strikes last year, so technically there were 2 Emmy Award shows in 2024, but we're back on track. So last night's show was hosted by popular father-son duo Eugene and Dan Levy. The two star in Schitt's Creek together and entertained the crowd throughout the night. But let's get to the awards. The historical drama TV series Shogun took home 18 awards last night. Another show that won many of the awards in its category was Baby Reindeer. The show is based on a true story about Richard Gadd having a stalker. Gadd accepted multiple awards, including the award for Outstanding Lead Actor. In one of his acceptance speeches, he addressed the audience and said, quote, "I never ever thought I'd be able to rectify myself for what happened to me and get myself back on my feet again. And then here I am just over a decade later picking up one of the biggest writing awards in television." He went on to say, "No matter how bad it gets, it always gets better. If you're struggling, keep going, and I promise things will be okay." The show Hacks won for Outstanding Comedy Series. The Bear won awards for Lead Actor and Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. Greg Berlanti accepted the Governor's Award, which is given to someone who makes a lasting impact in television. The memoriam included a performance from Jelly Roll. It definitely was an exciting night in television. But now we're going to head to Olivia Rodriguez. She has a story about Horror Fest.
start of the fall season with the Syracuse International Film Festival for a night of frights. The Syracuse International Film Festival's goal is to entertain, engage, inform, and inspire the residents of the CNY area. And with the fall season coming up, there is no better way to do that than today's Horror Fest. SIF held Horror Fest, a showcase of classic horror films at the Palace Theater. Michelle DiBernardo, the president of SIF, said that the festival has been a source of joy and community in Syracuse.
It's just important to bring positive awareness and positive things to the Syracuse area. There's so many negative things in the world that, film is great. It touches people in different ways. It's creativity, and we just love having all the different genres.
But Horror Fest is different from the other events that SIF will be holding this month. The event gave local artists, authors, and filmmakers the chance to showcase their work to a broader audience.
By including everybody, not just filmmakers, but also artists and authors, that we have, including everybody, you actually make a more unique experience than just going to the local cinema and watching what is the #1 movie of today. So that's where the International Film Festival comes in, gives an alternate angle.
Next weekend, SIF will be at Manlius Cinema, showcasing entertainment panels, artist Q&As, and short films on subjects ranging from Made in New York to LGBTQ+ issues. The Syracuse International Film Festival boasts many events for people in the area to come to get involved. Make sure to stop by on September 20th and 21st for the festival's 21st anniversary and the weekend of events that will follow. Olivia Rodriguez, Citrus TV News.
Syracuse head football coach Fran Brown addressed the media today at his normal Monday press conference. Find out what he said about SU's scheduled matchup with Stanford after the break.
Women are bad with money.
It's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now, we've got something to say.
Save it. Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses. It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures, investing in our independence.
Until we're no longer 80%
more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement. So again, we say to that, save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault, then the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Another week of Syracuse football means another opportunity for a viral Fran Brown press conference, a third win, and maybe even a number next to SU's name going into Week 5. Good evening, I'm Carson Fowler. The Orange host the Stanford Cardinal on Friday, and only about 2,800 miles separates Stanford from its first ever ACC matchup, and first ever game against SU in the Salt City. Take a look at this. Here's what that kind of travel looks like on a map. Stanford's probably looking at a 7-hour, maybe even longer plane flight. Can't be cheap either. Almost coast to coast. Conference realignment certainly has made things interesting, especially for those select few teams that sit on the West Coast. Coach Brown spoke today about the new opportunities that present themselves playing teams from the West Coast like Stanford in the ACC.
Some guys, and for them to be comfortable knowing that they'll get the opportunity to travel back home twice a year. I'm happy to be able to go play them. I'm happy to go out to California. I'm happy that Stanford gets to come here, battle the Block S, I guess,
Syracuse takes the field against Stanford on Friday at 7:30. 14th ranked Syracuse field hockey was tested at home on Sunday against Lafayette. First goal, 8 minutes into the game, Bo Madden found the net back of the net on a penalty stroke, her first goal of the year. Goal 2, nearly 50 minutes of scoreless action until the fourth quarter when Lenica Spons tied the game at 1 apiece. Goal 3, less than a minute left in the game, Bo Van Kempen gives the Orange back the lead. That would do it. The final score 2-1. Favor the Cuse. SU escapes with their 4th win of the season. Syracuse headed to Chapel Hill later this week to kick off ACC action against undefeated North Carolina. They're also ranked number 2 in the country. The Orange are 7-18 all time against the Heels and have never beaten the Heels on their turf going all the way back to 1991. Should be a good one in Chapel Hill. That game on Friday at 6 p.m. And disaster for the Syracuse Mets yesterday. The Mets had 3-0 going into the 9th inning against the Worcester Red Sox and astoundingly came away with a loss. The Mets gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. The Sox take this game 4-3. Tough finish for Syracuse. They'll begin a 6-game home series tomorrow night against the Charlotte Knights. Max, Jake.
Hopefully they can catch a win soon.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, coming up next, we have your wake-up weather. Stay with us.
Meet Norm. He lives with anxiety, but with the help of this latest innovation from Be Normal, he can be normal, just like everyone else. With the swipe of a finger, you can project happiness, confidence, machismo. Why settle for being real when you can be normal? The Normal Maker, new from Be Normal. This item doesn't really work because there's no such thing as normal. We're all different. What we like, how our brains work. In fact, 1 in 5 of us live with mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Start by talking to someone you trust. And remember, there is no normal.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I have your wake-up weather here for you. 60 degrees when you wake up tomorrow morning. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Only 3-mile-per-hour winds, so nothing too chilly. And I have to finish off with my presentation on these slides. I mean, come on. Look at this beautiful picture I took today outside. It was absolutely beautiful. Sunny skies led to some great shadows, hanging out with some friends. So that's all I got for you on weather today. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much. Well, Dunkin' just launched their newest drink, the Dunkin' Latte. This is Dunkin's first ever coffee milk latte. The new drink, is made with both espresso and coffee milk, a blend of whole milk and coffee extract. We're here. All right, so let's
do a taste test.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like coffee milk latte is like redundant, right? Isn't that like the same thing over and over again?
I feel like it's just gonna be sweet.
We'll do it. Hey, cheers.
We'll see. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Sláinte.
Monday News. Okay. I actually really like that.
That is really good.
That is very good.
I'm
Like, it's
like
not
usually
too
a
sweet.
black coffee guy, so any like coffee
Yeah.
with anything in it tastes good. But that is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and-
Love the redundant Dunkin' drink. Yeah. Before I have a caffeine crash, that's all we got for you on Citrus TV News this Monday.
Don't forget you can follow us on X and Instagram at CitrusTV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Max Williams.
And I'm Jake Morel. Have a great night, Syracuse.